So, chat, today we're gonna be reacting to Creekcraft's new video called "This Roblox Game Has Oof Someone." Um, I heard some stuff on Twitter about it. It was pretty bad. Um, where'd it where'd it go? There's something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, like right here.
Quick, I want
Uh,
to talk about the Doom by
okay. Yeah, I guess let's just watch the video. About right.
So this Roblox game killed someone, allegedly. I'm talking about the game Doom by Fate on Roblox. And by now, you've probably heard of the situation. It's all over Twitter. There's so many TikToks and videos, especially about this here. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've seen a situation on Roblox blow up to this level and scale. I've literally had journalists reach out to me questioning what's going on. And so in this video, we're going to be...
What is this even about? I literally never saw this game before. Hold up. Doom by Fate. Doom by Fate. When did this come out? Came out in 2025. Still an awful test. It's probably like all of these games like by Night Forsaken, I guess. I don't really want to play it though. Okay.
be diving into the Doom by Fate situation. I also just want to say right here, right now, this is not the normal Creecraft video. This is not jokes. This is not memes. This is 100% real. Like, I am 100% serious in everything I say and do in this video here. And also, this probably doesn't need to be said, but this video does deal with some pretty serious topics. So let's get into it. You see, this is Doom by Fate. It's an asymmetrical horror game, kind of like Forsaken, kind of like by Night. You get the idea. There's a monster, there's survivors. And over the weekend, they released a new update to the game that added in the character 1X. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know who 1X is. And epilepsy warning here. I just want to put that out there. But whenever you play as 1X, look, there's some very flashy images all over the screen. That's all I'm going to show right there, because even as someone without epilepsy, that is pretty insane. And well, the story is a player named Kit, who had photosensitive epilepsy, reportedly played the new update and suffered a severe seizure from the flashing light.
What?
On the 1X character. Kit was then hospitalized and then unfortunately died during emergency surgery less than 2 hours.
What? Dude, bro, that is insane, dude. Y'all should not this. Y'all should not watch this video if you got epilepsy, bro. Dude, I didn't know epilepsy was that serious. Like, I never have been like, I don't know. I never met people with epilepsy or anything.
Hours later. And then a few videos here started popping up, like from Sonic Deuce 995. Shout out to them. They made a video covering the
Bro, rest in peace, man. That's
situation,
crazy,
as well as an entire Google Doc, which we'll get to here in a moment. Basically, the story started spreading around the internet that, hey, this person named Kit passed away because of this game, because of an epileptic seizure caused by this Roblox game. And, well, the response coming out of the game's Discord was very, very bad.
Bro, people these days are just insane, bro. Dude. Dude. Bro, that's insane. That, bro. Wow, wow. Wow, dude, bro. How? Like, I do not understand these people, bro. Like, why would they do this? Bro.
Bad. Like this user here named In. I don't know what their name is now. They keep changing their name, but they posted this. Don't worry, son. She's with Tongue now. Obviously, along with
Was that a girl?
the text in the bottom. I'm not going to censor anything in this video. Along with the alleged co-owner of the game saying stuff like this in the Discord.
Bro. Who is D ass? Who is this kid? Hold up. Fandom Doomed by Fate. Who's the owner? I don't know.
General
Bro, like, why would you even say stuff like that, bro? Like, even if it wasn't real, like, just bro.
chat and various other messages like these, which I'm just going to
Wow.
put on the screen. And if you want to read them, you can pause to read them. They're, not great considering.
Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Why?
With Monday.com's intuitive work management platform, you have the power.
The circumstance, and that's an understatement. And so over here we have a player that allegedly died because of this Roblox game, and over here we have a development team that is allegedly making fun of the situation. What's going on? What's the truth? Well, you see, the story actually has two parts to it. Number one, we have the Kit situation and the alleged death, and then we have the developer situation and the Discord comments. First, let's talk about Kit. So the person making the claims that their friend
Bro, that's insane.
died was this person here named Draco Bloxer, aka Mel. That's what they go by. For the rest of the video, I'll just call them Mel. They sent these Discord messages saying, hey, tell the others I don't have much time. My friend, redacted, got a seizure from playing Doom by Fate thanks to 1X. I'm running here right now. I need to go. And then it says 2 hours later, Kit passes away in emergency surgery.
Bro, that's insane, dude.
Mel says, I have to go soon, but get this to anyone with a large following. Kit died. She died in surgery. All because of this, she died in the emergency surgery. And that's really all we had to go off of right here. These two screenshots. And look, and I think this is a very important thing for everyone to take note of and remember, especially anyone young watching this video. If you're going to make an extraordinary claim, you're going to need to have extraordinary evidence. And that goes for anything. So if someone is making the claim that this Roblox game inadvertently killed their friend, that's a very big claim to make. And if you're going to make a claim that big, then you're going to need to have some very big evidence to back that up. So I reached out to Draco Bloxer and the development team. Again, we'll get to those guys. Just stay tuned. But I reached out to Draco Bloxer, aka Mel, and we had a 37-minute Discord call going over this entire story and what happened. Now, I'm not going to play the entire Discord call because it's 36 minutes long, almost 37. But if you want to watch the full unedited thing, it's up on my Twitter in its entirety. I'll have.
Is it this one here? Or was it? right here.
Okay. Was there anyone else there with you? I think you mentioned like a friend being there in your messages.
Yeah, I mean, the friend I was talking about, they tried to come over.
Wow, bro.
Have a link in the description if at any point you want to watch the entire unedited version. But basically, here's the story. So I'm going to tell you what Mel, aka Draco Bloxer, told me in the 37-minute Discord call. I'll also have these Discord messages that kind of just, back this up and help everything flow here in the background that you can read as well. So basically, Draco Bloxer, aka Mel, is claiming that her friend Kit, who I should also say real quick is 20 years old and lives alone. Draco Bloxer here claims that her entire family is no longer living. Her entire family passed away. You can see in these messages here, Mel says she was far older than me. She lived alone and she was about the only one left of her family. In the call, Mel basically says that Kit's entire family, like immediate family, was gone, like passed away. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas.
That's sad, bro.
Like everyone's gone. I should also note, if I haven't said this, Mel is 13, Kit was 20. Anyway, Kit has a seizure. The person that lives next door to Kit, a 19-year-old dude, somehow realizes that Kit is having a seizure next door and somehow...
How? Bro. What? Yo, what's up, Tiff Timo? What's good?
Gets into her house. I should also note that the 19-year-old dude who lives next door lives with his parents. His parents were home at the time they were asleep. I'm not sure why he didn't wake them up, but he did not. So this 19-year-old dude goes next door, somehow gets into the house, finds Kit unconscious, having a seizure, and for some reason, I'm not really sure why, that 19-year-old dude decided to call Mel, the 13-year-old, instead of 911 and obviously emergency medical services. So the 19-year-old dude calls Mel, the 13-year-old, tells Mel the situation. Mel then leaves her house. Apparently she lives with her dad, and her dad did not care. Her words, not mine. Again, it's all in the call if you want to watch it. Mel then runs 15 blocks to her friend Kit's house, during which the 19-year-old dude calls 911. They send the ambulance. Mel claims that when she got to the house and arrived, which was before the ambulance got there, that Kit was barely breathing and that Mel performed CPR, which I want to say right now, just in general, you don't perform CPR on someone that is still breathing, especially someone that is actively having a seizure. CPR is meant for when someone is not breathing and or does not have a pulse. So I'm not really sure why they perform.
Play by my night.
It can be scary to pursue your dream, but it's also exciting. I
I'll be
built a
playing
Wix
by my
website.
CPR on her here. Anyway, emergency medical services. The ambulance takes her to the hospital. Mel says that the 19-year-old neighbor then goes back home, wakes his parents up, tells them the situation. And Mel decides to walk an hour to the hospital. So she walks an hour to the hospital. This is her words, not mine. She gets to the hospital, tells the hospital that she's here to see her friend Kit. Hospital lets her into the room. You can see some of these messages here. She's waking up. I gotta go. She's on the verge of death. I'm not joking. I have a second while she's being driven to update people on her. I don't have time to type, but she's critical. Well, anyway, Mel then gets into the room with Kit, where Mel then finds that her heartbeat is really, really slow. And for some reason, instead of calling a doctor, decides to go on Discord and tell everyone to get a YouTuber on the story instead of calling a doctor when her friend is actively dying in front of her. But anyway, Mel claims that the doctors then come in, take her friend into surgery, and then 10 minutes later, during that surgery, her friend dies in the middle of it. And how does Mel know that Kit passed away? Well, Mel claims that she snuck into the operating ward of the hospital and watched the doctors do surgery through the operating room window and door, the gap in the door. Again,
Bro, that... Wow. Dude, I have no words, bro. I got no words.
And this is her words, not mine. You can watch the full call. It's out there. And then at some point, while the doctors were doing surgery on her, they dropped their tools, looked down, looked sad, and Mel knew at that moment that her friend was dead. And then she proceeded to sneak back out of the hospital, walk an hour back home, and here we are. Now, in the Discord call that I had with Mel, I tried to be as straight as possible, right? Not taking any sides. I'm not really here to dispute any details or anything like that. I was just looking for clarification on stuff. But now that I'm here and I'm making this video, I do want to give my opinion on this. There's a lot of things in this story that just don't make sense. This 20-year-old's family is entirely dead. She has no immediate next of kin. The 19-year-old dude from next door somehow realizes that she's having a seizure next door, Kit that is, rushes over to save her and see what's going on and doesn't wake his parents up to let them know. Mel here is 13 years old, tells her dad that, hey, my friend's having a seizure. And the dad says, okay, cool. Yeah, just run off into the night and go deal with it. He doesn't call the police.
Bro, I don't know if this is real or fake, bro, but this story sounds insane, bro. It just sounds insane. I don't know.
Doesn't call emergency services. Mel is a 13-year-old that ran 15 blocks at midnight to go save her friend.
Exactly, bro. I mean, I don't know how like other families deal with it, you know, but I would not let my daughter at night was saying I don't care that her friend is having a seizure, just to run 15 blocks into the night. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I would at least call the cops and then drive her there.
And then when EMS services get there, the 19-year-old neighbor goes and tells his parents the whole situation, and they don't go to the hospital to see their next door neighbor that is dying. They just stay there. And Mel here decides to walk 1 hour, a 13-year-old at midnight on foot, walks 1 hour to the hospital. She doesn't get a ride with the neighbors or anything like that. Now, here's the biggest thing. And I didn't talk about this in the call because, again, I was trying to be pretty neutral in the call. After Mel says that she walks an hour to the hospital, she tells them that she's here to see her friend Kit, and they let her in. Hospitals do not let people in to a patient's room if
Bro, this is fake. I am.
they're in critical condition. If they are literally on the verge of death in critical condition, no one is allowed to go back in that room, especially not a random 13-year-old who claims that they were at the hospital by themselves without any parent or guardian or adult at all. That's just not how hospitals work. Also, Mel claims that she snuck into the operating ward of the hospital. Also, not possible. A 13-year-old is not sneaking into the operating ward of a hospital. That's not how it works. You have to be let in. There's procedures that it doesn't work like that. Mel also says in the call I had with them that she watched the surgery through the operating room window and also through the gap in the door of the operating room. Operating rooms typically don't have windows for various reasons. You can probably imagine. And they definitely don't have large gaps in between the doors into the surgery room because that's unsanitary. That's unsafe. Operating rooms, surgery rooms are airtight. They are locked up because they don't want outside contaminants getting in while someone is cut open on the inside. So if this person is claiming that they just watched from the gap in the door, that's not how this works. They also claim right here that she died due to suffocation in surgery. Well, how do you know that? You didn't talk to any doctor. You didn't talk to anybody. You just snuck in and watched them through a window, allegedly. And then you just snuck out of the hospital, which, by the way, you can't sneak out of the operating ward of a hospital. Again, you have to be literally like beeped in, beeped out. There's key cards, like there's code, like you have to call it. You don't just sneak in and out. You just sneak out through a window. That's not how this works.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a...
And so my personal opinion on the matter is that this story is completely made up, completely fabricated. Why? I don't know. Why does anybody lie on the internet? Now, Draco, aka Mel, did reach out and say that they're getting death threats, and they wanted me to let everyone know to ask to stop sending them death threats. I just want to point out real quick the severity. Look, no one should be getting death threats, but I want to point out the severity of this. Mel, if you're watching this video, you literally accused an entire dev team of inadvertently murdering your friend. I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you that this is going to be the easiest defamation lawsuit of all time. These developers about to be rich as hell. You just can't lie about that kind of stuff. That's insane. Shoot, I'm
What? What? Bro. I don't know how mentally unstable you have to be to just make that up. To accuse innocent people, bro. And to, bro, what? I don't know, bro. That is just. Didn't know people in this world were that insane. I don't think I have the right words, bro, for this. What?
not a lawyer. That might be criminal. I don't know. You might be looking at like an actual crime being committed here. By the way, I should point out, sneaking into the operating ward of a hospital is literally classified as criminal trespassing. You're not allowed back there without permission. So like you just admitted to criminally trespassing in a hospital's operating ward. But like I said, that was just one side of the story. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about the developers. So I'm just going to show the Discord messages here. I just want to be completely transparent. So this is Lazy. Here, I'll zoom in real quick so it's a little bit easier to see. So this is Lazy. They are the co-owner of Doom by Fate. I say, hi, nice to meet you. He says, hey, where should we start? I wanted to basically get his side of the story here. I had sent a voice note with all the questions that I wanted to ask, and I told him what the questions were and where to find them. So first, he says that NYZ, the person that sent this message right here, is not part of the staff team. They are not on the dev team, nor are they on the mod team. They were a volunteered Trello manager to do information sites for our game. I should point out here that the developers of this game are they're from Asia, they're from Thailand, so their English isn't perfect here. But the guy who sent this message right here was not on the dev team or anything like that. They were simply making, I guess, wikis for the game. They said he was nice and joyful before everything happened. We had zero awareness about his behavior. We immediately applied punishment to him as soon as he showed the disrespectful behavior. I should point out, too, that the developers said that they were all asleep whenever this was going on because, again, they're from Asia, they're from Thailand, and so they woke up and all this was happening and they were being accused of, murdering this person. And so they claimed that they had no idea of any of this until, like, they woke up because, obviously...
Bro. I just want to hear what this
When
guy
they got
said.
there, Kit has already died.
He sounds like he's crying.
Okay, well, you say, I'm reading a message here. You say, they're about to let me and my other friend inside. That was at 1:45. Presumably, you're talking about the emergency room at that point, right?
I mean, I really hate to say this because it makes it sound really fake. Like, what I'm saying, it makes it sound fake, but...
Yeah, bro, my mic is working, dude. Let's go.
They weren't even there yet. I was typing fast because I was trying to get into there.
Bro, I agree with Squeak, bro. I don't think, like, they would just let a random 13-year-old into the operating room while they're having a surgery. That just sounds... Bro.
I really don't know. But there's nobody else with me at that point. I just followed them. They didn't notice me. And then when they closed the door...
He's saying... What?
I just followed them. They didn't notice me. And then when they closed the door, I just looked in through that window.
That is just bullshit. Bro. Not sure if I see any windows here, huh? Maybe these little windows? But I mean, just to get inside of there, you have to, like, have key cards and stuff. Most of these don't have anything. Like, some of them do have, like, little windows. I don't know. I don't think this is real. Honestly, don't.
Okay.
I know that may be wrong to do, but then when she died, I just left.
So how did you know she passed? Did they come out and tell you or talk to you?
No, it's that they just stopped working suddenly. Their movements stopped.
Their movement stopped, and so you assumed, you presumed that she was passed, gone,
Yeah, they
and
put
so
their arms to their side, and then they were looking down at her, and like I knew she was dead at that point.
How's he then saying that she died to the what's it called? Suffocation. What?
obviously time zones. My second question was, did you ignore the feedback about adding an epilepsy mode to the game? Because obviously if you have a character or something in the game that has flashy lights or anything that could trigger epilepsy, then you need to have some sort of toggle or warning in the game. They said, no, we did not neglect the suggestions and feedback. We were actively working on on the epilepsy toggle. We launched a hotfix regarding this issue. Everything is fixed now. Basically, I ended up talking a little bit further here, but the gist of the situation is they added the 1X update on Sunday. That update came with an epilepsy toggle. That toggle, unfortunately, did not work. It was bugged. Now, since the developers were asleep whenever they figured out that it was bugged and not working, they had to get a separate developer to come in and fix the bug, which they say they had fixed in roughly about a day or so, a little bit under a day, half a day to a day. By Monday, they claim it was fixed and that the epilepsy toggle in the game was working. I then asked how old they were. They said 19 years old, first year university student. And yeah, here it is. I said, so the update was out, but the epilepsy mode was bugged, and then you guys fixed it within a day or so. In a day or so, they said, yes, sir, exactly. I then asked who all these people were in this screenshot here, as you can see.
Yeah, who are these people? I wonder if I could join Discord server. They have like a link or something. Not sure if they have a link. Maybe it's on fandom, I don't know.
See the ones that I was showing, these right here, for example, the ones I was showing before, and they say all the presented individuals within the screenshot besides Josh aren't staff and in any way do not represent the game or the development team themselves. They were literally just people with artist and conceptor roles. I'm guessing for some reason if you had an artist tag on your Discord profile for this game, you could still chat whenever the server was like muted or paused or whatever. Not really sure why, but that seems to be the case here. I said, quick recap, most of the dev team was sleeping during this because they were in Asia. The people making the comments on Discord aren't even on the dev team, and the epilepsy mode was included with the update but bugged out and was fixed within a day and was in the process of being fixed before all of this even happened. Is that accurate? They said exactly. I then asked who this guy is here, the DAAS guy, from this screenshot right here.
Oh yeah, who is that?
A lot of people on Twitter are claiming that this guy is the co-owner of the game. He's making these comments. Lazy said he's the main manager, but he didn't have any influence with this situation. He's a target of the community, but he didn't deserve this. I said, did he quit a month ago? Because he claims he quit a month ago. He said, technically, yes. He was helping us set up the server and hiring staff. Basically, this guy here, from what they claim, was a guy that they hired to help set up the Discord and hire staff members. He managed the Discord, and that was it. He didn't have any role in development or anything like that, and he's definitely not a co-owner or anything like that, and he left a month ago. He hasn't even been working on the game. He was not working on this game whenever the situation went down. They say he works for mini games. That's why we don't bother him much. We just let him do his work. I feel terrible for him. He doesn't have anything to do with this, but he's the one being fully blamed. And of course, it doesn't need to be said, but all of these people have been let go from the Discord. Now, here's my thoughts on the developers and this whole situation. First off, if you're going to have flashing lights in a game, you need to have some sort of epilepsy warning, just period, that needs to be in there. Especially if the epilepsy toggle is not currently working, that needs to be something that is very clearly put out there and known so that people playing the game are aware of it. I think it is really unfortunate that there's a whole lot of people all over the internet that think that this is the developer of the game. This is not the developer of the game. They do not work on the game. And I also think clearly they need new staff for this, not
like, bro. This guy, knowing that it was apparently real, just sends this.
Developer of the game, they do not work.
Dude. Bro. I don't know what's wrong with these people, bro.
On the game. And I also think clearly they need new staff for the Discord because this situation was just completely mishandled. Why in the world was the staff for the Discord even letting comments like this go through? And anyone making comments like this obviously should not work on the game. And as far as I know, they no longer do. They're not on the staff team. They're not on the mod team or anything like that. And I think this brings up a really big point. And this is something I've talked about for a long time. The development team for this game is like a bunch of kids, 18, 19. Obviously, technically, legally, they're not kids. But for all intents and purposes, they're kids. They have absolutely zero business experience, zero life experience, absolutely zero qualifications to be running a major successful game on Roblox with a community and doing QA testing, all of this stuff. It's just a bunch of 19-year-old dudes. And so you see situations like this all the time on Roblox, whether it's legal situations, whether it's situations like this just being completely mishandled, whether it's PR nightmares because developers just don't know how to communicate with people. You see this all the time on Roblox because everyone on Roblox is just a kid. Like, it has never been more apparent to me than right now that everyone in this community is basically a kid. It's full of kids. It's a platform for kids. And like, yeah, they're 18, 19, but they're basically kids. They don't have any training for this. Like, if you go and work for like an actual game studio, you have training, you have protocols, you have like rules you have to follow, and there's like chains of command and stuff. But with Roblox games, it's just a group of kids making stuff, and there's no adult in the room. There's no one that goes, hey, this is bad, you shouldn't do this, or hey, don't do that, or do. And situations like this happen all the time. I think the best outcome out of all of this is that developers on Roblox recognize that epilepsy is a really big problem. And if you're going to have any sort of flashing lights or anything that could trigger epilepsy in your game, you need to have that warning and you need to have clear toggles for that. But other than that, there's really not much else I can say about this situation. Thanks for watching.
Dude.
Like, your best friend tragically passed away, and that's the first thing you do.
That's where all of my friends are. That's all of the people I know are in there, and I'm pretty sure they want to know. Even my partner is in that server. I know. Oh my god, I know they would want to know.
Okay. I have another question for you. You said you've made numerous statements and claims that it was doomed by fate that caused this. But if your friend was by herself, lives alone, no one else was in the home when she starts having the seizure, how do you know it was the game that caused it?
Bro, How?
because when I looked at what she was playing, what I saw was Doom by Fate.
Well, that doesn't
I
mean
think
that
it was.
it was that caused it. That just means that at some point she was playing it.
I'm
You also
really sure it was Doom by Fate because everyone's been using 1X since release.
Dude, hold up. I want to get some opinions.
And there's squares flashing across the screen constantly
well, you
when you
you
get hit.
also someone
Sometimes.
someone asked, was she eating or drinking anything at the time, and you said no. But how would you know that if no one was there?
Bro, I think this guy's just making up stuff, bro. I don't think this is real.
There was no food. Like there wasn't scraps or anything when I got there. I saw
What?
Doom by Fate, and I know there wasn't any scraps, but other than that, and I don't know. I'm trying to make everything add up because, Creek, I'm going to be honest, I know this sounds fake, but this is also pretty hard to talk about. I'm trying my best right here now.
Like, I just want to make it clear. Like, you do realize that what you're like, if this is false and not true, you could be looking at a defamation lawsuit because you have now convinced the entire internet that this group of developers have inadvertently killed your friend. Not to mention, depending on the situation, like you were gonna do you mentioned a charity event for your friend
That
on
isn't
Twitter.
confirmed. That isn't confirmed. What we were trying to talk up to, we're trying to talk about Pickett about it. That's not confirmed though. Not at all. I have some people that were with Pickett that know Pickett. They were talking to Pickett about it, but that isn't.
Yo, Frost.
What's up?
Yo, Jude. Did you hear about the Doom by Fate thing situation?
Oh yeah, apparently someone died. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but
Yeah,
I've
dude.
heard about
So I've been like watching Creekraft's video. I've been like looking over his call that he was doing.
it.
So apparently,
So this one,
this guy Mel, like the friend of the girl, he's saying like that he snuck in into the operating room, and he saw that she passed away.
Mm,
Do you think?
oh.
Yeah, he's saying like he was watching the whole thing from a door crack because the door wasn't closed all the way. Then he started watching from a window.
Yeah.
I don't think hospitals um
I
have
don't.
windows, and bro, if you're gonna have a person like open surgery and stuff, like bro, the door would be closed all the
Well,
way.
okay, hold on. So everything I've heard from you is that some dude that worked for Doom by Fate went into the
No,
operation
no, no,
room
no, no, no.
and.
Look. So Mel is the guy, is the friend of the girl who apparently passed away. And devs like did not know anything because they live in Asia and like they were sleeping during that time. But then
Mhm.
parents of that Mel girl, I mean the boy, the friend of the girl, they said they don't care. They would just let him run 15 blocks like an hour to the hospital, and apparently how they knew that she had a seizure, that her 19 like the girl's 19-year-old neighbor have seen that she had epilepsy, and uh he somehow got into the house. I don't even know how he knew that, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Since I don't really go
Yeah,
into
yeah, I
much
know, I know.
drama.
You don't know much story. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just like asking.
Well, the thing. Well, hold on. My dad's calling me.
Bro, who the fuck, bro? What does that mean?
All right, I'm back. So I'm gonna be honest. My opinion on this entire situation about all this.
No,
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
was
It's
just
not.
trying to ask you about, like, do you think like there's the operating room could have like the door open slightly, or there's like windows, because it's like complete bullshit that the
I
parents
think
of
I
that
think I
Mel.
think I think I think that there was a door because there is no windows in a surgery room. So, because that's not possible. At least what I've seen, there is no. That's not a thing because no one wants to see absolute gore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like,
so that's
the
why
room
it's
should be
closed
like
off.
sanitized and stuff, if it's like a
Yeah,
open surgery.
and I'm gonna be honest, it does. I'm pretty sure they do have the door open for other doctors, but they have to have
They
a
have it like closed, you
key
know.
card
Yeah, but yeah, that's what
or
I'm saying. Like, to get
a
into the building.
lanyard.
Yeah. Also apparently, what he have been saying is that he ran like an hour into the hospital, and they let a random 13-year-old just enter the hospital, and
Yeah,
somehow
no,
he
that
ended
yeah,
up
no, that
in
is
the operating
that
thing.
is that is so fake. All I can say is that doctors are legally required to not let anyone in unless they are,
No, they
medical
wouldn't even
certified.
let anyone in. Why would they even let anyone in during a surgery, like an open surgery?
Yeah, yeah, they
Like, the
have to be
room
a part of
has
the
to be like
medical team. That's
completely
what I mean.
sanitized, because if there's like any bacteria that enters the body, it's like cooked.
That's
And then he's
that,
somehow saying that he somehow knew that she died from suffocating because the doctors stopped working and they just looked down. It's just
I don't know about that. I think that they just found out all of a sudden. I don't. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
how would Mel even know that she died from like suffocation or anything? Like, let me share screen to you real quick. I just wanna show you something.
Okay.
Just from the
And then I have to get back to work on
yeah,
something
I
because
got you.
yeah.
Um,
See this.
I'll show you from the video. If I'm
Okay.
Confirmed other people I don't know. And this hunting trip was already scheduled and
Would
I really hate to say this because it makes it sound really fake. Like what I'm saying, it makes it sound
right here.
fake.
5. Presumably, you're talking about the emergency room at that point,
I
right?
mean, I really hate to say this because it makes it sound really fake. Like what I'm saying, it makes it sound fake, but they weren't even there yet. I was typing fast because I was trying to get into there. I really don't know, but there's nobody else with me at that point. It was just me.
So, okay. I have a few questions here. So she starts her heart rate starts falling, and they take her in for surgery because her heart rate is falling. What is the surgery?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
I was already panicking when I got there. I wasn't listening to the doctors.
Okay. So my question and look, I don't work at a hospital, so maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think a hospital would like. I question
Look what he's gonna say
a
right now.
hospital letting a 13-year-old watch a surgery through a window without any parents being
They didn't
there.
know.
They didn't know you were watching?
No.
Bro, that's probably like complete bullshit, bro. Like, how would
Number one.
doctors would
Number
like,
one.
bro? There's millions of cameras in hospitals, bro. There's like the security level in hospitals. There's like key cards and stuff. There's so much stuff. There's so much security. How would a 13-year-old boy in the middle of the night just get in there?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. To be honest, there is no windows in the surgery room. There is none. So that's obviously fake. There's only a door that needs to be occupied by a key card or by a medical certified person that has a key card and access to that surgery room. So, like, yeah, that's completely fake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Which
also,
I don't know much about it, but obviously what you're telling me, I think it's fake. I can't say anymore because if I do, I'll get canceled by some random dude. But
yeah, no, yeah,
yeah,
but I just want to
I can't
tell
say
you,
much.
what do you think on that? Somehow a 19-year-old, no, he said that he knew that she had a seizure because
Well then why?
he somehow
Well then.
was I mean, he saw her play Doom by Fate where she had like a 1x1x1, I don't know, epilepsy, and so she like started just like, I don't know, not breathing. And then he said that I know CPR, she was breathing, but I was doing CPR.
Well then why wasn't you helping her? What?
No, no, I'm saying like, would you do a CPR to a person who's breathing?
Well, no.
Yeah, like he's I don't know, bro. It's just does not make sense at all. And then he's saying that the 19-year-old boy, her neighbor, has not called the police. He just ran to Mel's house to tell him. Then they ran back. Then they looked at her, and then they called the police. And then Mel's parents said that they don't care. Like, cool, yeah, just do whatever in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that sounds way too fake because usually CPS would get involved if that was the case, and like obviously they will find out. I know doctors. I literally am friends with a doctor or a surgeon. So like that's how I know that that's just completely fake because CPS would be involved if that was the case.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, dude.
by what you're telling me, it sounds fake. It does not sound real. And number two, if this was realistically, CPS would get involved a few days later, and this guy would not have parents and would be in juvenile. So
Bro,
yeah,
I don't
that's all.
think he realizes. Bro, he has made this all up. He has made the whole dev team like look really bad. You know.
I'm gonna be honest. Do by fate. Okay, I can't say that. I forgot you're streaming, so I can't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I never even
Oh,
played
I
that
wanted to say
game.
it so
Like,
bad.
bro, it's okay. Just say it. Just say it.
Hold on. Mute your stream audio, cause you'll get like banned for it. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Wait,
Okay, okay, okay.
so let me
Wait,
know
wait,
when
put
you're
up,
muted.
put up.
Okay, bro. This guy, bro.
Alright. But yeah,
All right.
man.
Anyway, I gotta get back to editing for something I'm working on. So yeah, I'll see ya later.
Alright, bro.
Sorry.
Peace.
Peace.
Chat. I honestly think this is like this is fake. I don't want to say like I'm not saying that it isn't fake, but I am saying it is fake. I don't know, because this just sounds like made up. This just sounds like it's like a made up thing in a 13-year-old's brain. It's like a one brain cells. I know that Doom by Fate has like a bad reputation, you know. Never actually played the game, but I heard of it, you know. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It just sounds fake. Yeah. I don't know, chat. I guess I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go edit the stream. Um, I will maybe make a video on this because why not? I want to just get this out. And yeah. All right, chat. Yes. Have a good night. In peace.